At the SCO summit, world leaders gathered, Modi, Putin, Xi, and others, to discuss energy security and a changing global order. India stood at the center of attention, once again balancing its historic ties with Russia and its growing links with the West. While the Ukraine-Russia war started, it was actually the USA and other nations who suggested India to buy Russian oil, not for charity, but to maintain the world economy by stabilizing oil security. India listened, and by doing so, prevented oil prices from spiraling out of control. Yet today, critics in Washington call it a betrayal. Peter Navarro, former Trump advisor, declared, "Shame on you, India, for being with China and Putin." Funny, because Navarro has often claimed to like the India-US relationship, but his latest words were anything but friendly. He even dragged caste into global geopolitics, saying Brahmins benefit from other Indian people, a remark many in India condemned as casteist and out of line. The hypocrisy is striking. The USA continues to import uranium from Russia. The EU still takes Russian LNG. Many countries maintain hidden channels with Moscow, and surprise Ukraine itself buys diesel from India. But where exactly is India running the war? Hypocrisy at its finest. If India stops buying Russian oil and turns elsewhere, prices could easily shoot up to $200 per barrel, and the USA knows this. Yet they keep forcing India to stop. Why? As External Affairs Minister Jaishankar reminded the media, if you have problems in buying oils from India, stop buying it. No one is forced to buy it, just like the USA does to every nation's. And then came Trump's voice. On his Truth Social platform, the US president wrote, "What few people understand is that we do very little business with India, but they do a tremendous amount of business with us." He called the US-India relationship one-sided and even a disaster. According to Trump, India sells massive amounts of goods to the US, but buys very little, while continuing to source oil and weapons from Russia. He admitted India has now offered to cut tariffs to nothing. But in his words, it's getting late. They should have done so years ago. For India, the choice has never been about pleasing one side or the other. The Russia-India relationship is rooted in history, decades of defense cooperation, technology transfers, and support when the West often backed Pakistan. If India were to depend heavily on US weapons, what security would it have when facing threats from Pakistan or others? Could Washington one day blackmail New Delhi in the middle of a crisis? That risk is not theoretical. So, India follows its own rules. It buys Russian oil openly because it helps stabilize global prices. It speaks bluntly, through Jaishankar, about double standards. And it faces criticism, from Navarro's caste-laced remarks to Trump's tariff threats. With clarity. The world may call it hypocrisy, but India calls it strategy.